Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. It's April 1st, and today we're going to talk about harvesting garlic. Now, garlic, when it's time to harvest, and we've done harvested it also, it's just a matter of pulling it out of the ground. But usually when it starts to dry back, and some lets dry all the way back, but in our area, we can't do that. We got to watch real close. Now, some of these are bigger. You can't really feel definition. You can on some of them feel the definition where they're separated into cloves, but I'm not one to expect them to wait for that, because what happens is when you leave garlic in too long over here, this is what happens. It starts to grow. In fact, it'll start, as you can see, the top right here. What it's doing is it's shooting leaves out from all this garlic inside. We've got multiple stems of garlic coming up now because the cloves are trying to grow. So we want to harvest it before it does that. So if I start seeing that on any of them, I say it's coming out of the ground. Now I do have another variety. This is my silver skin, and some of them's big. Now this one here was probably 2 cloves. It was actually was planted together that were smaller, and then but a lot of this it's not real giant, but it's good sized garlic. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this garlic a little bit different when we start curing it out. Okay, to get ready to cure this out, what I'm going to do with this garlic is first thing, I'm going to cut these roots off. Now I don't want to cut up into the garlic itself. I just want to get rid of most of these roots. Now normally when I cure out garlic, I just lay this on the shelf. But this year we're going to do this a little bit different. We're not going to leave all these leaves on here. I don't think it's going to affect the product, but we're going to leave a good section of stem there because we don't want it to dry out real quick. Now some of this is little garlic that come up, I think, from last year. I believe this is probably elephant garlic. It could be planted back, but we're going to go ahead and we're just going to do this the same way. Just cut it off and put it with the rest of it. We cleaned out that row so we could finish planting it with something new. Now you could, that little garlic like that, you could use it. A lot of people like green garlic, and you can cook with the whole thing, top and all. Just like this little one, you can chop it up and cook with it, the whole thing. Now, when it comes, you want to get most of the dirt off, which it'll dry and be fine. But don't go stripping these dead leaves off here, because what you don't want to do, you don't want to break the covering on the outside. Now, it could crack on its own if it dries faster on the outside than the inside. And that's one reason why I'm cutting this off, is so it doesn't hold more moisture, and I think it'll dry on more evenly. Now, garlic seems to store better whenever it has its outside layer on it. And any of these you can clean up afterwards. Once it dries, you can kind of decide how to do that. Now, all this garlic isn't big garlic. Most of it is smaller. Now, this here is the you can see this one here is not real big at all, but we don't care. Garlic's garlic, and we'll probably end up freeze drying a bunch of this garlic anyway. But my main thing is to tell you when to harvest, because if you try to go by a set way, and I used to do that, I didn't harvest mine until after it started drying. And then last year I had my purple garlic, and that was the one I was showing you earlier that is growing. I had the whole bunch of it started growing like that. It never did actually even start. It died back early, I guess because the weather, well, it didn't really die. It browned up a little bit, but then I was waiting for it to brown up some more, and it didn't do it. Next thing I noticed, I've got garlic shooting up all over. Now, that's not bad if you want to do a lot of cooking with fresh garlic, but if you're planning to store some garlic, and especially if you're needing seed for next year's garlic, then you need to have garlic at a stage that it's going to store good. And so when it comes to harvesting, like I say, just take a look. Now, I pulled some of these earlier, or pulled one out earlier. I didn't feel that it was ready, but like I say, when I started seeing that the one variety was sprouting, and then we got checking this one here, and it's good. And even if this doesn't stratify for the way we use our garlic, we don't necessarily have to have cloves because we freeze dry a lot of it to store. I'll take the ones that are stratified into cloves, and I'll put them back for my seed garlic next year, and all the ones that have not formed cloves, we'll just chop them up and freeze dry. But anyway, I hope this gives you a little bit more information on harvesting garlic, because normally we don't harvest garlic this early. I'm in 8B. Normally, we're probably at least about another month on it. Our elephant garlic is still not ready. It's not showing signs, but elephant garlic starts putting up scapes when it's getting at the time for it to be harvested, and we'll talk about that once it gets ready. But don't expect all your garlic to be harvested, or varieties to have the same harvest window. But anyway, I hope you found some value in this video. And of course, if you're not a subscriber, just hit that subscribe, hit the bell, select all so you'll get the notifications. Give it a big thumbs up and share this video. Enjoy that gardening experience.